bright line on these units to just really disincentivize fraud. I think that's the really main concern, is that, you know, as much as we try and we think we have thought about contingencies and have a pretty good enforceable process, when there's so much money to be made and so much incentive to maybe get out of the long-term market and go to short-term rentals, trying to keep that bright line for enforceability. But it's a really tough issue, and particularly when you're an owner-occupied, you're not taking housing at that point, it's your own unit. So I don't think we're gonna be against or strongly opposed or anything like that. I think what we mostly said about the RSO issue in our reports, and this was debated quite a lot. I would say the ADU issue, the RSO issue, the cap were debated quite a lot. But what we generally said is that it's tough issues, so we would prefer to wait until enforcement starts to know how enforceable everything really is. Are the platforms gonna help us? Are city council gonna staff the enforcement needed? How is everyone gonna behave? So once we have the enforcement started, I think if we have good enforcement going on and we have good cooperation, that gives everyone more confidence that we can open up the boundaries a little wider on home sharing, because now we have enforceable. But until we know that,
first. Yeah, in the beginning.
please guys, please guys, we can't, please guys. I know it's emotional. I don't mean to. We have to keep control of me. I know it's an emotional issue. It's a real issue. It's a financial issue. I get it. I do understand. I want to address all those. I'm doing the best I can.
Can I just ask a question to clarify that point? It's just clarify that. So if I have a duplex, my wife and I live in the back unit, in these amendments, would they allow us to short-term rental the other unit, or just inside the unit that we live in?
Right now, it's a complete ban on rent control properties. So if you have a duplex built before 1978, it's considered rent control, and it's complete prohibition. What these motions would have us look at is allowing, if you're the primary resident and owner occupant of that RSO unit, then you may be allowed, but that's what's being considered by city council under these future amendments.
In the unit we live in.
Could be, I believe they're looking at owner-occupied units in rent control buildings and small multifamily buildings, but not a secondary vacant unit. It's only your own owner-occupied unit, I believe, is what they're looking at. So they're not looking at wholesale changes right now. They're looking at a segment that they feel is most important to look at. Just wanted to share this as our way to keep track. So you saw those council file numbers. If you want to keep track and get, number one, know when the meetings are going to happen, know when council votes are taking place, you go to this website, LA City Clerk Connect. It's called the Council File Management System. You basically enter in that number, that 18, whatever, 1245 it was, and you'll get the screen for that file. And on this screen, you'll get all the activity that's happening. You'll be able to sign up to receive email updates anytime there's anything happens in this file, any meetings, any public comment. And you can also submit public comments to that. So you could write an email referencing that number and saying you feel one way or the other about this particular idea, you support it, you don't, and that would be reflected for all to see, including council members when they vote on it. So we wanted to share this information so you can keep track of it. The other pending issue, some of you may have heard, council also directed us to take a step back and say, well, what about this vacation rental industry, this industry of non-primary residences? Okay, the home sharing is primary residence. What about the non-primary residences, vacation rentals? They've been around for a while. So we're doing that. We're looking at potential options of what that could look like. I don't know, again, what's going to happen, what the timeline will be, whether there's any legs to this at all. I mean, whether there's political support, I don't know. But we are doing our job, I hope, to put an idea out there. So very shortly, I think you're going to see the planning department put out a draft vacation rental ordinance. Okay? That starts a process. Just like home sharing 5 years ago. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. But it'll start a process to begin a dialogue. Here's what planning put out. Let's all debate it. Let's have public hearings. It would go to our planning commission first, then it goes to city council. But that ordinance would be deliberated like anything else. I don't know, I can't tell you all the details that are going to be in that ordinance, but it's going to address some subset, not all, but probably some subset of vacation rentals where the department feels like is a good starting point for dialogue, and then it's up to the decision makers in the public process to continue to change that policy or evolve it or not.
So can
But we're,
short-term rent right now, or it's a no until?
this is not a law, this is not law yet. This is just starting a process, so today, this
So they
is,
can
this is
still,
not law yet.
so they can still,
We can
short-term
still,
rent.
we can.
No.
People
No,
with
no, no,
money
no,
that
no.
have second homes and
Please,
they
sir,
can
sir,
rent.
sir,
But
you
we
can't
can't
yell at
live
me,
in
sir,
an
I'm gonna,
agreement.
sir.
No, it's ridiculous.
Sir, well, I'm happy to take your questions, but I can't be yelled at,
This is so
sorry.
Angry.
So,
Please, I'm gonna answer all your questions, but the answer is, this is not legal yet. So, no, this is, we don't know if this ever will be legal. This is up to city council to decide whether they wanna do this. So this is,
Right now, vacation rentals are not.
no, only home sharing is legal today. I'm just about done. I'm just about done. Online resources, just want to show you, this is our website. This is our place where you can find information about your property. In my rent control building, you can go, this is a great just resource you may want to be interested in to find out information about your property, what zone you're in, is it allow residential? You can find out, is it subject to rent control? So you go to Zemus, you click on housing, you enter your address, and it'll tell you whether the building is subject to rent control. We do let you know, if you try to register, we link to this database, and you may see a message when you're trying to register that, hey, it looks like you're in a rent control building, rent RSO building. But we do give you the opportunity to proceed with your application and tell us why you think it's actually your unit is not, and maybe there's a mistake. And so you can prevent us evidence. For example, if it's a single family home, only one unit on a property, and we're calling it rent control, that's a mistake. So you would just provide any evidence you may have that it's a single family residence, and we would go through that and investigate it and allow for that to proceed once we've looked at that.